Hello, everyone. It is your favorite social media lawyer, also known as Pam Esquire, aka the Law Intellect. And welcome, welcome. Welcome to all of my new subscribers. Welcome to all of my intellects. Welcome home. We have a busy day today, as you guys see. We came on earlier and we talked about Tasha K. And I thought maybe we would get a break today, but I guess not. The block is hot. If you guys read my thumbnail, we are going to talk about. I actually originally said that the lawsuit was $50 million, but that was based on what was put on this person's post, on Whitehead's post. Let me see if I have it. So he posted in his story the last page of the lawsuit. Hopefully, you guys can see this. A lot of you guys sent it to me. And he said $50 million lawsuit filed against Brandon Belmonte for setting the bishop up and lying to the FBI. And then he added everybody that has a media camera, including the Shade Room and Baller Alert and New York Times and all of that. And I think one of the publications did post about this. Yes, 200 million. You guys keep asking me, can he do it? I've never seen anything like this, so I really don't have any answers. I am learning as I go along, as you are. Thank you so much for everybody that was here earlier and that are back. My mods, Alice and Cupcake, thank you so much. Thank you for greeting everyone. If you guys have not done so, this is just a reminder because somebody said sometimes they forget to hit that thumbs up. If you guys can please do me a solid and hit that like button as you come in. We're going to have a couple of co-counsels on here today. We have Really B is in the house. She's in the car.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Girl. They won't let us rest, will they?
They won't let us get any rest. I can't get any work done. I had to tell somebody today. I was like, you do know I actually get, we got jobs. Some of us really work.
Right.
Like, you going live right now? I'm like, can I get a few minutes?
Hey to the chat. Hey, everybody. Yeah, honey, I'm on my way home. I said, girl, did you see this?
We've been texting all day. Like, what?
Right. Yes.
Oh, my
I
God.
can't believe the audacity of this. I got to hear this. I haven't had a chance to read the documents yet because I've been, I had my appointment, but I cannot read. I can't wait to hear this.
I don't think did I send it to you? I gotta send it to you too.
I don't know. I haven't even checked my email.
I sent you the other one, I think. So
yeah, I did see that
so
one.
Much. Mm-hmm. It's just so much. And we're supposed to come on and talk about something totally different today.
You've been trying to do it for 3 days. They won't let you get to the other stuff. Shoot.
And P did say, Lord, please come get your bishop.
Girl, this man.
Somebody wants to know, how can he even afford this with these cases? Ain't no way. Well, typically, you know what? I can't. Would this be something I would take on? I probably wouldn't take this type of case on contingency. But maybe he's taking on contingency because he believes that he'll recover or something at the end. I don't know. I have no explanation, guys. Hey, Tasha. Thank you for coming on over here. So, yeah, as you guys know, Whitehead, first of all, I knew something was up when he was last night doing his worship in the dark. I said, well, where's the lights at? Why is he in the dark? Every time he's in the dark, it seems like something happens.
You know what? I never thought about that, but that is true. Because he'll be in his car in the dark in a minute. He'll have a live in the dark. You right. You are right. We gotta keep our eye on that one, y'all. Put that on the bingo
I'm
scorecard.
telling
Every
y'all.
time he does a live in the dark, we know we got a 24, 48 hour window for something about to happen.
So that's why I've been holding back. I'm like, what's about to happen tomorrow? Let me see what's about to happen. And then bam, he posted about a $50 million lawsuit, which actually is a 200 million.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Johnny Townsend. I appreciate it. See, I'm his social media lawyer too. See, I'm the social media attorney.
Yeah, that's your new hashtag. That's your new hashtag, girl. I just can't listen. This is crazy to me. This is so crazy to me.
So I know you haven't seen the lawsuit, and I know you're probably going to end up discussing it on your platform as
Child,
well.
he already on the docket, as Tyrese say. He on the docket, honey. Him and Tasha
It's
K,
been
the
a
first two names.
long day, guys. Thank you.
Right.
So, Chad, this is the complaint. So we have plaintiff Lamora Whitehead, who is an individual and presiding pastor, leader tomorrow in Brooklyn, New York.
The stolen church, but go ahead.
But wait a minute. Now you want to bring up New York, but then in the other lady's case, Anderson, you said I live in New Jersey. We just gonna keep playing. Defendant Brandon Belmonte. Hold on 1 second, y'all. I gotta take. Hello.
You're not muted.
Hi. Can I call you right back? Okay. Sorry, y'all. That was Miss Martha Reeves from the Vandellas. So
Ooh,
I be having to make sure she okay. We ain't got too
of the
many of our
legends.
Motown legends that's around. So
Yes, that's right. Cause you are up there in Motown.
I
Yes.
am. So I have to make sure she's okay. But anyway, okay. Sorry about that. That was pretty rude and a little ghetto, but I apologize. Defendant Brandon Belmonte is an individual. Okay.
Lord.
On January 2023 or within 1 year. Hey Thais. Welcome Thais to
Hey,
the platform,
Hey,
everybody.
Thais.
hey! I'm just getting here. I'm trying to see what's going on. What happened?
Yeah, On January 2023 or within 1 year of the filing of this verified complaint, Mr. Belmonte made orally and/or in writing the following statements about plaintiff to Eric Latch of the New Yorker. A quote, Bishop Whitehead basically says you gotta give me another 5 grand, end quote. B, I got City Hall in my pocket, end quote. Bishop Whitehead told Belmonte that Adams had once offered him a $50 million construction contract. D. Eric, quote, Eric's doing big things. Quote,
Girl,
E,
this what we
y'all,
putting in the law.
I gotta get through this, y'all. E, quote, I gotta get mine, end quote. F, Bishop Whitehead mentioned a property that Belmonte was developing in the Bronx. G, quote, Bishop Whitehead said Eric Adams can make it a homeless shelter and you'll get city benefits, end quote. H, Bishop Whitehead offered to broker a meeting with Adams. I, Bishop Whitehead kept telling me we're going to make millions together. J, quote, and Bishop Whitehead said, you got to give me the 5 grand or I'm going to beat you up. Is that what the New Yorker said? I don't remember. Maybe it did. K, Belmonte told Bishop Whitehead during a recorded call with FBI agents present that he was ready to do business with him and with the mayor. Um, L, every quote, everybody is trying to connect me with the mayor with some fiduciary experience, end quote. Mr. Belmonte above stated statements in paragraph 3 concerning Bishop Whitehead that were spoken and or written to Eric Latch of the New Yorker within 1 year to date are false. Hey, really, B, can you hit your mute? Because I can hear your
Yes.
driving. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Hold on.
Mr. Belmonte above stated statements in paragraph 3 concerning Bishop Whitehead that were spoken and or written to Eric Latch of the New Yorker within 1 year to date are false. 5, Mr. Belmonte's statement in paragraph 3 concerning Bishop Whitehead that were spoken and or written to Eric Latch of the New Yorker within 1 year to date exposed plaintiff to public contempt, ridicule, aversion, and or disgrace. Mr. Belmonte's statements in paragraph 3 concerning Bishop Whitehead that were spoken and or written to Eric Latch of the New Yorker within 1 year to date imply criminal activity and injured plaintiff's reputation as a pastor and as a professional real estate investor. 7, Mr. Belmonte's false statements were published in print and online at, there's the New Yorker link, last accessed on March 20th in the New Yorker magazine, which as of December 20, I guess that's 20, had a total circulation of over 1 million, including print and digital editions. 8, Mr. Belmonte made the false statements in paragraph 3 concerning Bishop Whitehead that were spoken and or written to Eric Latch of the New Yorker within 1 year to date in a grossly irresponsible manner without regard for the truth. As a result of Mr. Belmonte's conduct, Bishop Whitehead has lost and continues to lose business deals, church members, income, and was subjected to a federal criminal indictment based upon Mr. Belmonte's false statements. Mr. Belmonte is liable to plaintiff for A, first cause of action libel, B, second cause of action slander, and C, third cause of action libel per se, and D, fourth cause of action slander per se. Wherefore, plaintiff demands judgment against defendant for each cause of action for actual damages of $50 million or such amount according to proof at trial, punitive damages of no less than $150 million or such amount according to proof at trial, and such other relief that this court deems just and proper. Under these premises, plaintiff demands a trial by jury on all issues triable.
All right.
I was never served.
You're being served now, bro.
You's a clown. That's what you. Why don't you call me a cardboard bishop now? Huh? You tough? Call me a cardboard bishop now.
He's not gonna call you that.
Huh?
I'm not gonna call
Look on Facebook Live. Call me a cardboard bishop now. You clown. That's what you are. You clown. That's what you are. Why don't you say what you say on Facebook Live, sucker?
No.
Got it?
I'm sorry, that's just my favorite clip.
Why is he so angry? He wants to fight everybody, man. Why you want to fight everybody? This is not Rikers.
So what do you think about the allegations in the complaint?
I just got the tail end of it, Pam. It's nothing at this point. If anybody is shocked, right? Where have you been the last 6 months too? If you're shocked at anything that is dropped as far as breaking news with this guy, like for real, it really comes down to the point now where there's really no bottom left. It's already gone to hell in a handbasket with this guy, Pam. There's nothing. You can't go any lower than this. Like really, for real. Be honest, y'all. Unbelievable.
But looking at the complaint, that's how. First of all, in order to do a defamation claim, you have to prove that it's false. That's pretty much your standard. What you have to do. How are you? That's he said, she said. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what I don't know. Assuming that none of this is in the recordings that they allegedly have, assuming that all these statements that he made weren't in the recording, he was just rehashing to this journalist his recollection of his conversation. And I think in one of the parts he said something along the lines, like it wasn't even verbatim. He was just saying what he recalls generally of the conversation. How do you prove that this is false, that this conversation never happened?
Yeah.
This is
and this is the so I'm following you correctly. This is a loss. He's suing Belmonte for defamation.
Yes, he is.
Okay, so he, evidently he's very litigation happy, right? He's very litigation happy. He likes to sue people, but and he likes big numbers attached to it because I think that's attached to getting people's attention and getting media involved. The bigger the number, the more explosive it is. Everybody's going to talk about it. But you have to ask yourself, like, does he kind of like believe some of this? That's what I'm saying. He may
I
be.
think so, because the reason why I say that is I was telling someone earlier that I don't have a prosecutor mind, and a lot of people didn't know what that means. To me, what I noticed when I practice was I look at all sides like I do on this platform. I know my weaknesses in my cases and I know my strengths. I don't just find a strength in my case and ignore my weaknesses. Oftentimes, that's what prosecutors do. I'm not saying all, but a lot of, lifers that they call prosecutors. One of the reasons why there are so many wrongful convictions is because that one track mind. Like, I have my eye on this person. I believe they did it and I'm about to do everything I can, and I ignore everything else. He has that frame of mind, in my opinion, where he finds one thing to focus on, and then he's just going to go hard, and he literally everything else doesn't matter. Because you talk about I was indicted because of him, but he wasn't the only person in your complaint on your indictment. You see what I'm saying? So how do you
Yeah.
even say that he is the cause of your indictment when he wasn't the only one? Also, again, you're basically telling the court you should believe me and not him. So you're gonna make this a credibility issue?
Baby, don't
Between
do
both
that.
of you guys?
Yeah, with the Justice Smollett case, another theory is that sometimes people, when they know everything has fallen apart, Pam, they just basically have to go all the way in until the wheels literally fall off because they know, listen, the gig is pretty much up, but I ain't gonna just throw up my hands and walk away. So I'm gonna roll with this until the end and see how it goes. Some people go to their graves, saying, yes, this happened. Yes, they did this to me. Like, it's sad, but it's oftentimes true.
You there really be? I don't know what that noise is.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's
Can
a
you? Oh, it's still a noise.
yeah, it's a noise on there. It's like a
Oh,
squealer.
I'm
Because I
sorry,
when
cause
I press mute, I
I'm not
don't hear
even
it. No,
moving.
you're good.
Oh, sorry about
Okay.
that.
I just had to mute it. But yeah, it's I don't even know how, honestly though, like we're like it's unbelievable, but something isn't right. You know what I'm saying? Like something just isn't right. And then he's, like you said, he's very litigious. And I can see individuals being intimidated by that. Like people saying, I just want to leave him alone because he may file a lawsuit, or it's being used, in my opinion, as, and this is probably even before we knew who he was. I would assume maybe it happened before that if we really were to look him up like that.
As,
I know at least one other situation where it kind of seems that way to me. In my
like a scare tactic.
yeah, like because most people don't know. He seems he's not a dummy to the law. Let's just say that you're not a dummy to the law. So if you go against just the average person, they're gonna go get an attorney, regardless to
But,
whether
but
you're
Pam, but
okay.
Pam, but Pam, I know this very well. There is a difference between the penitentiary lawyers that have learned a lot of their game in the pen and people that are actual attorneys and lawyers. A lot of times they study the law, so they know a lot of loopholes. They know how to, maneuver in the legal system, but they don't know the crux and the foundations of the law. So they know how to play the game legally, but they don't know the long term to get something done substantively. They don't know how to do that. Do you agree?
I agree with that. I know there's a difference because I've dealt with that a lot when I did criminal, where it was like, Pookie and them on the corner, they always telling you what they got and what happened with them. I'm like, but Same thing with auto accidents. You get in an auto accident and you got a sprained finger that lasts a week, and then you want to compare yourself that guy was paralyzed from the waist down. Well, he got $1 million, so I know mine worth at least 500,000. You know what I'm saying? And they tell you, oh, they use this attorney. That attorney is the bomb, trying to like stomp on your credibility. It's like, no, that's not how this works. Your situation is not the same situation. So yeah,
And
I agree with that.
and people now, because I bumped into a lady at the grocery store with my shopping cart, and she started grabbing her neck. I'm like, ma'am, you're not gonna get nothing from me but a bell pepper and some clothes hangers. I just lightly bumped into her basket with my basket. She's like, I'm like, lady, knock it off, girl. You don't get out of here. I wasn't even on a car.
You said knock it off.
Knock it off. You're not gonna get nothing but a bell pepper and a pack of pork chops if you sue me. You don't knock it off. That was a shopping basket, fam. Anywho.
But yeah, there are people now, in theory, at least when you're an attorney, I don't know what their rules are there in New York. You basically, when you sign your name, you attest that you know that your pleading is grounded in law and fact. Like that you really have an argument. So yeah, there are things in place that's supposed to prevent lawsuits that really are invalid, but do they slip through the cracks? I'm sure they do, until somebody responds. That doesn't stop you from having to respond. That's the thing that I think is unfair, because you got to respond. Like, who's gonna sit up here and have a $200 million lawsuit sitting out there on their name?
I know everybody wants to know, where did he calculate and come up with his numbers for these lawsuits? 20 million, 50 million, like where? How do you calculate all of that?
I think, like, perhaps, I don't know, perhaps if one of those other, I don't want to say that because I can't be putting the ops on game. But every it's almost scary though, like that, the fact that people really can just be like, oh, okay, let me file this lawsuit, because you're literally omitting or forgetting about everything else that's going on in your life as far as that indictment. So let's just take Belmonte out. You still got an indictment. Like, it's not going to make your case go away. No. Unless you're trying to say every piece of information they have derived from Belmonte, which led to further information. But that can't be true, because you have Anderson and she attached text messages and she sued you. So how do you even say that?
And his obsession with this New Yorker article, I can't find the linkage as to why you keep talking about this New Yorker article and referencing the New Yorker articles. It does not put you in the best light, for real. I know it sounds like a broken record, but it don't. No, it doesn't. But really, just let me know when you get you at home.
Can you? You can still hear? I can hear the noise. My connection is really bad.
Okay. But yeah, it's just I don't have an explanation. Typically I do have, I'm very rarely speechless. I think I'm not no psychiatrist or nothing like that. I think he needs to be examined. I think somebody needs to talk to this guy, because some of this stuff is borderline, Pam. And I'm not trying to diagnose nobody, but some of this stuff is really on the spectrum. Like, something's not right here, for real. We got anybody in the chat? We got anybody in the chat from Bellevue? We need somebody with a degree. I need somebody who got that good degree in the because it's like that young guy that pretended to be the doctor. And exactly. And like that movie Catch Me If You Can. Did you see that movie Catch Me If You Can? Was that Leonardo DiCaprio? Yeah. Very that. And they had another one called The Talented Mr. Ripley. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's this something. I don't know, because I've never experienced this before, and just the lengths that you're gonna go to try to get your point across is just. But clearly, this isn't nothing new. So, how were you allowed since you've been out? Let's just say, I think it was 2013ish or 14. How have you been allowed to operate in this fashion all these years with nothing happening?
Yeah.
How have you been allowed to do that?
But you know, a question just hit me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, say for instance, he goes and he has to go to jail, right? He's convicted and all that stuff. Due process plays out. He goes to jail. He's in the feds for 10, 20 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
The question I know a lot of people are going to be asking is, what happens to all of these lawsuits, these civil lawsuits? Are they dismissed with prejudice, without prejudice? What happens to all of this stuff? Does it just disappear?
He'll just have a judgment against them like he does, he did when he came out. I mean, I think he had a couple of judgments or something that came when he was locked up the last time. And then it was one individual that I guess dropped a lawsuit when she found out, or he found out, that he had got incarcerated back then. So
And
he just got judgment.
I'm talking about the lawsuits that he files as well. If you're in custody, if you're not here, what happens to that lawsuit? Like, do the people still have to go?
Because you can still, it's not, people sue from prison all the time.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so you can't necessarily, they sue the prison a lot. So you can't really say that it's, I'd be worried about as an attorney getting paid, because that's a lot of work. He has a lot of litigation going on right now, either defending or bringing it. You got to respond to that stuff. That's a lot of work. He's like 20 clients in one. Like, how can you even really practice and do other clients with him because of all the litigation that he's in, unless he gave a healthy deposit?
And then how is he, as a pastor, you're supposed to be feeding the homeless. You're supposed to have, school, back to school programs and all kind of re-entry programs. How are you handling the church business with all of this going on every day? Like, how do you even get prepared for your next sermon? You're supposed to be studying the Bible throughout the week.
That's what he does on Saturdays when we see him up there playing the music, and then he go get his Bible. He's like, I'm gonna let y'all see my process.
And I'm gonna tell him, I know he's watching. I know you're watching. I know you're watching. Please take all of them sticky things out of your Bible. We know you're not reading the Bible like that. Stop putting them yellow things in the Bible. You done highlighted that Bible. That's not that. I don't like when people do that. Don't do that. Don't mark that Bible like that, because you're not reading the Bible like that. That Bible it looked like a rainbow. It has a yellow and pink and yellow and pink. Stop doing that. That's not right. God don't like that. I know he don't like people playing like they read the Bible. You're not reading that Bible like all of them sticky notes in that. Boy, that upset me the other night, Pam.
I see.
I was like, did you see all of them sticky things he had in the Bible? And then he was flipping the pages like he was TD Jakes. He kept flipping it. You ain't looking for nothing. Close that Bible up. All these lawsuits out here pending. The Bible speaks about suing your brother.
It does now. He skipped over there. I told you there's some chapters he skipped over because it does not fit the narrative. So Johnny Townsend said, among other things, he wants acceptance from both the church and community, and he has a short man complex, which is why he wants to fight everywhere.
Yeah, he wants to really be the people. He wants to be the people's bishop, but he is really, really enamored with hip hop artists, the rappers. I think he wants to be that pastor that the rappers come to for counsel, and that he can go to the Grammys and walk the red carpet with. He really wants to be that person. But that's not gonna happen, because ain't nobody gonna sully their reputation when all these allegations are swarming around out here. So it ain't gonna happen, Bishop.
That's what he said. That's what he claims he is. He is like the gap, the bridge between the hip hop community and the church. Like that.
Some people don't know you. Some people don't know you. A couple of people have took and you can tell them forces. them selfies seem forced. They're like forces. It's like you can tell all of them. They like, it's that when somebody really naturally
And they
taking a
like,
selfie. Them people don't want to take no picture with you. They ain't gonna tell you. They don't want to hurt your feelings. They're forces,
they're
not
forces.
selfies.
They're forces. They're not selfies.
Right. It's like he really wants to be that pastor that's ingrained in pop culture, but it's too much damage has been done from a PR standpoint and a allegation standpoint right now.
Wow.
And I'm surprised he haven't challenged Mark Lamont Hill to the boxing ring because he don't like them kind of interviews. Mark Lamont Hill, you may be in the boxing ring next.
He did. He was mad at him. I'll come back because he ain't coming back. I'll
No.
come back to answer questions because I don't like to not get my point across.
Okie dokie.
I'll bet him that he don't go back. He ain't going.
No, he's not gonna go back because Mark. Go ahead.
He asked him questions. He challenged him. He doesn't want those type of interviews. He wants the ones where he can give his narrative on what he says happened.
And Angela Yee's interview was very free flowing and relaxing. There was not a lot of rebuts.
So, do you think the interview that he just did on that V105 that we just were talking about last Saturday gave him this emboldenedness that he should file this lawsuit because of how that interviewer represented that his rendition changed his mind about him?
I think something totally different. I was in the kitchen earlier and I was thinking, I think when the news cycle moves away from him, like we have 3 big stories as bloggers that happened in the last 3 days, right? Mm-hmm. When the news cycle moves away from him, and it's going to move away from him really a lot as the months go on, because once people start seeing this and this, people are going to be like, this guy, okay. So, but once the news cycle moves away from him, he has to do something really big to get people back talking again. And $50 million, $200 million is a lot to get people talking again, So that's what I'm thinking.
That's true. Because I said the same thing about Tasha, because she posted the lawsuit herself on her, on her site. So it was like, you basically did that on Instagram because you wanted people to, some people just want that conversation to flow because it does bring traffic to you. It brings traffic to your channel or whatever, and it brings eyes on you.
And as a blogger, you want, if it's anything concerning you, you want to break the news because then you're going to steal everybody's thunder. Once you break the news, if anybody else breaks it, people are like, okay, I already saw that. Tasha K she already released it. So she kind of takes the thunder away from the breaking news aspect of it. For some,
it's actually similar to what defense attorneys do. If you know your bad information, when you go before the jury, you're like, hey, ladies, he had a troubled youth. I mean, every now and then, because his family was hungry, he might have went down to the corner store and stole a couple of packs of diapers or a couple of packs of meat for his family because he had to do what he had to do. But he's not that person anymore. That sounds way better to take the sting out than cross-examination from the prosecutor said, and you were convicted of theft when you was whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, this and that. You put it in a way where when they hear that theft from the other side, they're like,
you already putting it out there.
Talked about that.
Because the prosecutor's gonna come out. Didn't you steal 4 packs of ribeyes? And it's gonna be like, oh my God. So yeah, you soften the blow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what you do. You take the sting out of it. Any bad. That's why I think that's why I said it's imperative that you know your bad facts of your case. You have to know your bad facts because you got to know how you're gonna defend it or whatever. And when that comes out, because of course they're gonna highlight your bad facts. It's how you twist it or how you put it there. And that's the type of mentality. He's just so laser focused. It's almost like if he thinks in his mind he's right, he's right. And he willing to go to all lengths to try to prove that he's right. And he wants all of us he gets upset because you want all of us to forget about everything else and just focus, out of these 10 things, he was right about this one. And we're just going to focus on this one and we're going to forget about everything else. But we don't think that way. Like, no, it's the totality of the circumstance, and definitely the government doesn't think that way
at all. And he also has a bloated sense of numbers, Pam. I don't know if you noticed this, because he was like, I gave away thousands of backpacks. Thousands of backpacks? Do you know how many backpacks? Thousands of backpacks. And then when you see people in the chat in that area, they be like, child, what was this? When did he give out all these backpacks?
They like,
pass out all these hams. I live in Brooklyn. I ain't never seen no hams being passed out. You know, people are like really dumbfounded. Like people that live in Brooklyn, like, when did all of this go down? Because I've been here all my life, you know.
And the cookie situation where we saw, or people that went there that inboxed me and told me about it, they were saying like how it went, where it was per family. He had like a thing, a little area for you to take a picture with him. I mean, it just almost turned into like a red carpet event for you to give out $25,000 or less, or whatever you gave up. Ultimately, everything just has to be, man.
But I want, for my birthday, I just want, please, I just wish D.L. Hughley would put up that $1 million in cash just to see whatever the amount was. Put up the $1 million. I got $1 million. I just want to see if he has $1 million. What would he do if D.L. Hughley, you know, just really did it? You know, oh my God.
But if you recall too, D.L. Hughley never put that interview out at all.
No, he didn't.
He never put it out because you got out talking about it. And I think in D.L. Hughley mind, he like, I'm not giving this dude no more attention. Like, no. But he really thinks he's a celebrity. He really thinks he's famous. He really thinks, like, it's like, no, you're infamous. People are really talking about you on the name. Google, when somebody Googles your name, it don't say, what a great person. Yeah, no. That's no headlines on no day. And he doesn't learn. That's why I played the video before of his press conference again with that whole robbery, because you invited the media to let everybody know who you were. When you opened up that press conference, they did not care about anything. They knew you, and you have already complained about the media before the robbery. So why would you go to the same media? Literally, there's videos from him in the pulpit a year before talking about how the media treats him so horrible. So if that's the case, why would you go to the media that you know only cares about your negative side so that they can let us all know who didn't know nothing about you? Mm-hmm. We all were like, oh, who is Pauline Anderson? Oh, what's this 150,000? Wait a minute, he got properties where? There's a what? Like, it made us all start looking at all of his stuff based on their questions. So it's like he's willing to risk it all for that attention. And that's just
because there was so many people that had no idea who Pauline Anderson was, Pam, because people don't really follow a lot of this stuff, the intricate details of some of these stories. But now that you put it out there, and now everybody's Googling Pauline Anderson, and everything's gonna come up. So sometimes I wonder, is he really the brightest bulb in the drawer? Because some of this stuff is self-sabotaging. It's inflicted wounds to his own damn self. Crazy.
Jeff said he did not shut down Cookies. They gave him a corner in the back of the store along with 10 gift cards. You know.
He passed out 500 hams, 2,000 turkeys, 44,000 packs of neck bones. Oh, okay. Where did you get all this meat from? Oh my God. He ain't bright. He's not bright.
Torian said it never happened. He gave a few turkeys to people that the supermarket donated to him for the people. Oh.
Y'all check the expiration dates on the turkeys. Check the damn expiration dates. Because we had a problem like that over here to give away in LA. They was giving away some stuff. Everybody checked the turkeys and it said 2019 on them. They had just been in the freezer.
Well, we know he didn't do nothing this past Christmas because he got indicted like on the 20, like right before Christmas. It was the same week of Christmas, and then he showed his videos or whatever at home with his family. But if he gave away stuff, he would have televised it. He doesn't do it the biblical way where it tells you that you're supposed to do it, and you're getting your reward. You're not
Yeah.
getting your reward because your reward is because you want to tell everybody that's your reward. So you better soak it up since you want to tell everybody all the little stuff that you allegedly do for people.
Mm-hmm. And one more thing, Pam.
Mm-hmm.
What is this thing about being in the dark? He was praying in the dark. Turn some lights on. What are you doing? Because people wonder what you be over there doing in the dark, Bishop. Turn them lights on.
He started out when I went over there yesterday to look on Facebook or wherever it was, Instagram. He was in the light. Like he started out, he was just playing a bunch of music. So I got off. I'm like, oh, he doing the whole worship thing. And then I hop back on later and all the lights off and he doing all this. Now y'all going like they're going into an intimate place, his intimate place of worship with God.
This is not Daystar. You're not on Daystar. You're at home. Turn some lights on. Because it's going to turn into something else pretty soon. You turn these lights off in here.
I'm not joking. Crazy. When I first looked at it, I was like, did you pay your bill? That was the first thing I thought.
It makes you wonder, did Con Ed or whoever, the light company, did they clip him? You know, you never know.
That was the first thing I was thinking. I said, dang, did he pay his bill? And I said, oh, maybe he's trying to usher everyone into his secret place of the Most High. Psalms 91.
Mm-hmm. Toria says, I collect food for my church. It's a great thing out because there's so many churches, Pam, that are out here doing such great stuff, you know, and giving to the community, especially right now where food is high. So it's a good thing when it's people out here legitimately helping people, you know.
Yeah.
And to see somebody abuse all of that, it's sad. It's really sad.
She said on the Mark Hill interview, Limor said that he was a famous pastor. He had 40,000 on Sunday Lives. On Sunday.
No, baby. You don't have no 40,000.
You don't. You have about 50 on, if that much, on Facebook. I don't know what's on Instagram.
And people are still trying to figure out how you got
that out loud.
1.5 million Instagram followers and 30 people watching. Nobody understands that.
All right, we know that you were in the car, so you can tell us your take on the 200.
Yeah, my apologies for that. I just, first of all, Ty, you just had me cracking up the whole time. But my question is, and this is a serious question, what could possibly, and if I missed it, my apologies, what could possibly be the legal strategy for him to file a lawsuit against the government's witness against him I don't even understand what the legal strategy is for this.
I don't either, because even though the government said he's not a witness, he's still considered a victim. So how are you even looking at the bond conditions? We've looked at the bond conditions on more than one occasion. Looking at the bond conditions, I just don't even understand how this is even being allowed to continuously occur. These type of like tactics and antics or filings, because this is the second one filed against Belmonte. Because remember, the first one was just for a declaratory judgment. So you ask the court to declare something. You don't ask for anything per se, like monetarily. This is the first time he filed something for money. But 150 million in punitive damages. What?
That's crazy to me. I saw that thing today. I couldn't send it to you fast enough. I said, what in the world is this? But in his mind, I was listening to you guys, and you're absolutely correct. In his mind, he really feels like he could play these Jedi mind tricks with us and say, don't pay attention to all of that stuff over there. Just pay attention to this right here. And see, that's when he got mad at Mark Lamont Hill. Once he started saying, okay, that's great. All right, fine. But what about this? And what about this? And what about this? That's when he lost it. And that's when he got upset. Because it was like, oh, well, you're not falling for my tricks. You're not paying attention to, what I want you to pay attention to. You talking to me about this other stuff that I didn't tell you to talk about. I didn't talk about any of that. And that's when he got mad.
And
Now I saw this.
I could see him being so like he's so, to me, I can see right through it. But just imagine somebody who doesn't know him, never seen him in the media, never seen any of this, and you're on a jury and he comes across and says some of this stuff, drop a couple of tears. How would he be persuasive to a jury or to a judge? You know what I'm saying? Because they don't know all of this. Like, we were going there like, yeah, all right. But they don't know this. So it has to be some way that he feels comfortable continuously moving the way he's moving.
I saw this on season 3, the ending of season 3 and the beginning of season 4 of Power, right? And I'm wondering, Pam, are the feds just allowing him to accumulate a lot of this stuff and do all of these things? And I know they probably are. And there's a big surprise coming. One morning, we're going to wake up and I'm going to see Call Pam Detroit. And it's going to be that great, getting up morning very, very soon. They may be allowing him to do a lot of this because it's unprecedented for somebody to run amok like this from a legal standpoint with everything that he has going on federally, right? So they might just be letting him continue to pile it all up.
And I get that contention because I think a lot of people believe, because that was my thought process. But how far do you let it go if it harms other people? You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
That's what my issue is, because as long as he's allowed to keep filing stuff, as long as he's allowed, like, how far would you let it go when it's actually if he wasn't out here, he wouldn't be going through the stuff with Gloria Guy. If you wasn't out here, you wouldn't be going through the stuff civilly, I guess. There's a lot of things that it's like, well, how far do we let it go? Mm-hmm. When does it end?
And who's next?
Is alleged, but I'm just saying, like, how far do you, if that's their rationale, how far would the Fed say, okay, all right, enough is enough?
Right. And I'm like you. I'm gonna go back. I had to go back to that New Yorker article because I'm with you. I don't think that New Yorker article was quoting him verbatim. I don't think it was I mean, I could be wrong. I have to go back and reread this with everything. And just like Thais said, with everything else that was in that article, I honestly didn't even focus on Belmonte. I was focused on you lying about who your daddy was. I was focused on, all of the scams and like that was the least of what I was really concerned about in that article. I don't understand why he is so focused on that one. That's 2 paragraphs of a 3-page article, sir.
It wasn't even that long. I don't even think it was that long.
No, but I need to go back and read it because he's making it seem like these. And the other thing too that I think, and I know you were talking about this too. The other thing too that I think he wants us to forget about in his indictment, it says that they have audio recordings. Mm-hmm. So, is there anywhere on any tape where you said these things? First of all,
what I was saying, really, be not to cut you off, but what I was saying was that we can assume that, just assuming it's not on the recordings that they have. Perhaps that's why they felt like they had more recordings. It's still he said, she said. Like, how are you going to prove that as being false? That's the crux of defamation. How are you going to prove that what this man said about you is false? Because he's going to say, I was in the conversation, and that's what I heard. You going to say you ain't hear that. What you going to say? I'm more credible than him. They're going to pull up your background, your record, and then they're going to pull up his background and his record. Like, what?
My word against yours.
But my father was killed when I was 6 years old. Oh, my God, we hear that story one more time. Please let it go.
I grew up without a father, so I know what that's like. The struggle.
We know. Is it true that the one of the people offered him to take a DNA test and he didn't show up or he refused? Is that true?
That was in the same article.
That was in the article. That was in the article. The aunt said, I mean, his sister or his alleged half sister said
The real
that
sister, because you know Arthur Miller was married with a whole family.
Right. So when he called them and said, and first of all, even if you go by the article, in the article, the sister said that when she called him, when he called her, he didn't say, hey, I want to, can we meet? I want to sit down and talk. I understand this could be a delicate situation, but it's my understanding that your father is my father. Can we meet and just discuss? Like, he didn't even approach it with any type, according to the article. According to the article, he called and was like, I'm your brother. I heard y'all got a settlement. Let me get some of that money.
He said he wanted to buy a Toyota. I guess his taste wasn't as
Oh,
expensive.
yeah.
Right. He wanted money for a Toyota Camry, honey. And so they said they were living in Florida at the time. So they, according to the article, according to the half sister, alleged half sister, they offered to fly him down to Florida for them to take a DNA test. And she said she never heard from him again.
I know she didn't. He wasn't coming down there, lady. I could have told you that. No, he ain't coming to Florida for no DNA test, ma'am.
She said she didn't hear from him again until he called her to cuss her out after she told the mayor to stop using her father's name. After the family told the mayor to stop using their father's name, then he called her, cussing her out.
Wow.
But yeah, when he starts out, when you look at this, it says on Bishop Whitehead basically says. So he don't even say that that's even verbatim what he heard. He just what the conversation was.
Child. It's a mess. I just don't. Listen, the level of narcissism, and I know that's an overused word, but I think in his case, I think this is a pretty accurate statement. The level of narcissism in this man and the audacity.
I said somebody better.
What they should start doing though is every time his name comes, they should send all his pleadings to the same judge, so all the judges know, so that they know, like, okay, here's one filed by him, and then maybe because if it's spread out, and I don't know how big their court is, but if it's spread out and different judges, maybe they don't know that he already has this is his fourth defamation lawsuit. Yeah, this is his fourth one that's pending right now.
Yeah,
and
it's the fourth one pending. Did he ever file the one against Jives? I know he filed against Larry Reed. I know he filed against Miss J.
He filed
Did
against
he ever
Jives.
file the one against him?
He filed at the same time as Larry. Yeah, I don't think he served him, but he did file it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's like, and everything is all these multi-million. Like, how are all these people doing the same thing to you for the same ridiculous amount of money? So everybody costs you millions of dollars.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to Google. I want to see a picture of this man so to see if he looks like him, the daddy. I'm sorry.
Looking up the daddy.
I'm looking up the dad. I want to see if the daddy look like him. That's probably not sure. That ain't his daddy.
We need to add Maury, Justin, but he ain't gonna take a DNA.
We need a Maury Povich. We need a Maury Povich moment.
Yeah, I need you to do a DNA in me. He need to do DNA in me so he can see where his DNA is attached to whose tree.
It's a mess.
And it's going to continue until
and he really put it
until it happens. I ain't gonna say what it is. Until it happens, it's gonna continue to be like this, y'all. Day after day, week after week, it's gonna continue to be like this. It's sad. It's unfortunate. Abuse of the judicial system, abuse of process. All of this stuff is just really, really just a sad commentary. All because you want to be TD Jakes and the hip hop pastor.
Somebody said, where's the wife? Lockness said, where's the wife? Does she have a gag order? I feel like she can clear all this up. Is she still preaching on Facebook?
I seen her yesterday.
Yeah, she preached every day. She on
every morning. She
355 days or something. No, I don't know how many. But
she'll tell you. She'll tell you in a minute. I hear a sound. She always hears a sound. If y'all notice that,
She hears a sound and she can sense a seed.
I hear a sound. I be wondering, like, girl, what is the sound? What's the sound, Adrian? I want to hear it too.
But what do you think
I
that
tell you,
just the you likeness though? What do you think that she can clear up though? Because
Yeah.
you think she was privy to a lot of this stuff? Because I don't think he doesn't come across to me as the person that likes to share. You know, like I'm doing this,
mm,
I'm doing that. He may be the type, and I'm of course I'm assuming that just acts like he's handling the business, or you don't got to worry about you driving a nice car. You got
now,
nice clothes.
now Jeff James said she already put him down. When did she do that? I missed it. Well, I don't watch her like that. I ain't gonna say here
I
lie. I
don't
say I
watch
watch her
her
every
at
day.
all.
I want to know
I
because I
watch her
thought
because I follow her and she comes up in my timeline and it's usually in the morning. She be saying she hear a sound and I watch a few minutes of it and then I just keep on going. But yeah, to lock this, that's a Tie Squad member. I don't think she's a Tasha St. Patrick, but sometimes wives they just allow their husbands to do their thing and just stay out of the way. A lot of wives do that. Like they may know
I
just a little something, but that's his thing, that's his business, what he's doing. I don't, they may have an inkling or intuition or something, but all of that's not legal. Like, you have a feeling, or I may have a little intuition or something. You can't use that in the court.
Cause
I think she might.
he was doing real estate before her. So I can
Mhm.
see him, and I can honestly, I'm sure he didn't come on anybody like, oh, I'm this type of a person. He probably knows how to, try to finesse and got that talk and that charisma and all. Because you can tell when he's around celebrities, like known celebrities, just his whole everything. Even when he was trying to okay, we got to go in the ring. I love you, Uncle 50 Cent. Yeah, he talking about me, but that's my dog. You know what I'm saying? Like those type of people he don't want to come against because he wants to keep that type of camaraderie. So
50
he
Cent would
he
light him up.
huh?
50 Cent is such a troll. I said 50 Cent is such a troll. He would light him up. Do you know? Yeah, he don't want none of that. He don't want none of that.
Both, yeah, and Uncle Murder, like he was just like, when he tried to put him, is this going, I know him. We cool, you know what I'm saying? So it was certain people that was getting passes where he really wasn't trying. You see, he ain't said nothing about Tasha.
He sure
Yeah.
hasn't, has he?
Can I
He
say
don't
this?
want
And
that
I hope
smoke.
he, I hope he don't make me public enemy number one. What I'm about to say, I hope he don't. I hope he don't come over here and send somebody over here to come get me. Okay, but Asia is a better preacher than he is. Like from a scriptural standpoint and the way she preaches, she's just a better. She's a lot more knowledgeable of the word, and it's more. And I think she comes from a background of that. So, Bishop, your wife is a better preacher than you are.
Well,
Okay,
I was actually following
she knows the
her on
word.
Instagram. I was actually following her on Instagram before any of this even happened, before I knew who he was. I had been following her before she even got pregnant with that baby. Because somebody, I swear to this day, I can't remember who it was, but somebody recommended her to me and said, go over there. She does her morning prayer. I like her. I follow her. And so I started following her on Instagram. And I was telling my people this. I think I told Pam this too. Before all of this happened, I can't tell y'all exactly when it happened because I wasn't following it like that. But she used to post him. I remember when she was pregnant, they had a gender reveal party. She had posted that on her page. I remember they had a baby shower. All of that was posted, and he was in those videos. I just didn't know who he was. And then when all this happened, and when I realized that was his wife, and I went back to her page, it was scrubbed. I scrolled back about 2 years, and I couldn't find not near picture of this man. And I said, but he was all over her Instagram before all of this happened. So at some point, she scrubbed her Instagram because I remember the gender reveal party. I remember the baby shower because they had like a professional videographer to put it all together, and she uploaded the video. Oh, that's gone. Well, at least I didn't see it. Let me say that. When I scroll, I didn't see none of that. all you see is her morning prayers, and you see pictures of her at different events or flyers of her going to be somewhere. She didn't took all that stuff down. Now I don't know when she did it, but it's gone.
Somebody just inboxed me that he gonna sue me for $100 million for saying that. Well, she is a better preacher. It's okay. He can sue me. He ain't gonna get nothing from me. They say I'm next. They say I'm next, Pam. He finna sue the shit out of me for saying she's a better preacher, and I feel that it's real. I know real God stuff. Like when it's real, I feel it. She's real, you know. He can sue me. He ain't gonna get nothing out of me. So I don't give a damn.
You found the baby shower pictures, Cupcake. See, people be finding stuff I don't be seeing. I scrolled and I ain't see it. I wonder if she put it back up. Because I scrolled and I scrolled. But she used to have pictures of it. I just didn't know who he was. But she used to have pictures of them all over her Instagram. She scrolled that thing.
So do y'all think the bishop got game?
Like what? Like oh yeah, he do. Well, let me tell you, Pam. What it is that he because those women in the chat, you be looking in the chat, and you see all of this going on in the news. Y'all see all of these articles. Y'all are not dumb to the facts, but they just don't care. He has this kind of energy where he be looking in the camera at you, and them lips be greasy. Them women it's a certain segment of woman in the church that they like all that kind of stuff, and he got on, and then sometimes he'll sit a certain way in the camera and be looking down at you and stuff. So I catch all that stuff, Pam. He's very, very seductive on a spiritual level for them people, but if you don't understand that, you won't catch it.
On a spiritual, like what's because to me
it's very Svengali,
like circular, like he's all over the place, and I'm just like, what are you talking? And I can only listen to so much before I don't feel right, and then
Pam, you have to have been in the presence of that energy and that spirit. I've seen it. I've seen men in the pulpit, like sitting in the pulpit and looking at women, and they have their legs open a little bit, and they be closing their legs back and forth, looking at the woman. I've seen that. And women don't even understand they're being seduced. It's like a spirit of seduction. Y'all not gonna make me like I'm crazy. I know what I'm talking about.
I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm talking about him. I'm not saying it doesn't happen because I know people fighting to be the first lady. I'm a preacher's kid, so I know how it goes. I know what my mama went through. So
intellects, y'all know what I'm talking about. The spirit of seduction. You ain't got to be Shamar Moore. You ain't got to be Boris Cujo.
He definitely has the gift of gab, but see, that's why he gets so upset when he can't do it. That's why he gets mad at the Mark Lamont Hills, and he gets mad at the people that press him, because he's used to being able to walk in the room, put on that little smile, talk that talk, jab, 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 and he's used to being able to finesse. I think he's been very successful with women. That's why the last woman that he was had her at work pulling them social security numbers and them fake ID. He absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. When I was looking back, I'm like, he wouldn't have even, or he the type that wear you down, like I'm gonna be super nice to you, or I get to know what you've been through with another man, so I know exactly what to look like I'm the opposite in order to kind of lure you into. I don't know. It don't do it for me. I mean, maybe because I'm married, but I just be looking like
let me tell y'all something. It's pimp adjacent. That's the energy. Some people call it a seductive spirit, but it's kind of like that pimpish energy. It's kind of pimp adjacent, not exactly pimping, but close to it. Popcorn pimping, whatever you want to call it, but it's very adjacent to that.
That is interesting.
Very. Look at him tonight when them lights turn off, Pam. Because see, Pam, you log off as soon as he come on. You'll look at 3 seconds and you'll log off. Stay on. You got to stay on, Pam, to understand what I'm saying. When he turn them lights off and they be in that room with them greasy lips be shining in the dark and stuff, them women love that stuff. Yes, they do. And then he take it, because he do look better without his glasses. I will say that. he looks a lot better without the glasses. So them women that like that kind of stuff, they be caught up in the rapture, Pam. Yes, they do.
Oh Lord, have
I know I'm not
mercy.
lying, Cotillion Queen. I know what's going on. Now he's gonna turn the lights off longer now. Now that I said it, the lights really gonna be off tonight.
Oh, he gonna, oh, no, the lights gonna be on tonight. He gonna be so happy. He gonna be cheesing. He gonna be showing off that gap on the side of his teeth, mouth with the teeth missing.
Did you call that a gap?
He gonna be so happy with himself tonight. Y'all know.
Oh,
I give
Lord.
up. I give up.
So anyway, all you guys that have just come in, you guys make sure you hit that like button. We're just giving our commentary on this $200 million. I can't even say it.
200 million. When they go down there, what they say? What's the amount? 200 million. 200. Just give me 200 million. Like
he said 50 million in actual damages. So you're saying that's what you can prove, I guess. And then $150 million as punishment, which is punitive damages.
okay, that's what's up.
But see, my question is this. Do you really think you can get this from Belmonte since you said he allegedly owe all these other people? Ain't that what you said?
Right.
You owe all these other people. Where he getting this money from? If you're telling us the man is like a con man and he's taking all these, you said millions of dollars from people. So where he getting this money from? Anybody know? Any idea?
Child, Belmonte probably ain't got $200. You know, more or less 200 million.
Because he do got a lot of lawsuits now. Belmonte does. Now they
listen. Two things can be true at the same time. Both of them can be crooks. I mean, two things can be true at the same time.
It can, but I don't think. But like I said, you're basically telling everyone that Belmonte should not be trusted when you're accused of similar type behaviors, and you've been convicted of similar like behavior. So you're not making sense. So this doesn't apply to you. Do you live in your own bubble, like your own world? Is that what it is?
He does. Because he live in a bubble that he think people believe this, that come out his mouth.
And that one day all of this is just gonna change for him. It's not. It's gonna go downhill. Lamar is gonna go downhill. It doesn't get better. At some point, you have to come to terms with this. This is not going to get better. It's going to get worse. And every filing, every lawsuit you file, it just makes it worse and worse. So please just stop filing all these 60 and 70 and $30 million lawsuits. It just makes it worse, Lamar.
What do you have to say to Lamar, really, B? Do you have anything that you want to say to Lamar?
I just want him to go live and talk about it so I could do a live talking about it. At this point, I don't even know what else is left to say. I just want to see how this whole thing gonna roll out. That's all. I want to see what it is.
I told Pam the last time we did a live, all of us did live together. When he did that live that night, I think he was a little. I think his feelings. I hope we didn't hurt his feelings, Pam. Like he felt like that live. He seemed like he was a little hurt about something. I hope it wasn't me.
Yeah, really. B texted me and said the same thing. So I think he's talking about.
No, I don't have nothing against you, sir. I don't even know you, okay? But you can't seduce me with them greasy lips in the dark. You get the ladies out there, them other women.
I do have something to say to him. I do have something to say to him. Can you get them people their church back?
Stop, really. Stop.
If anybody in the chat has anything that they want Lamar, who is watching right now, if you guys have anything that you want to say to him, this is your time. This is your time in the chat. Be respectful, though. Try to be respectful. Just any advice that you would give him.
What is the next backpack giveaway?
Any advice that you would give him right now? Because I think he needs some advice. Because
Yeah.
the not talking ain't working. So
Somebody said repent. Oh, they're not playing in this chat. Honey, I would say start liquidating those suits.
Peter said, "Get
Nobody
saved
want
for
them
real."
old Chinese nobody want them Chinese alley suits. Nobody want them things.
Oh,
Can y'all hit the like button though, please? I think we need to hit the like button though before we get out of here.
Tion said, "Greasy lips, give those people their church back. Thou shalt not skin still should be in your
baby,
body."
listen.
Give people that church back.
Johnny said, "How much do you spend on lip gloss?"
What? Y'all are a mess. How much do you spend on lip gloss? Now I will tell you this. Bishop. Bliss Sticks has this fruit smoothie like thing, and it just goes on very matte. So Bliss Sticks fruit smoothies, no grease, no shine, nothing. It's perfect.
You hear
So
that
lip,
advice? Olga said, "Get some mental health."
yeah, somebody need to go to take him down to the Bellevue for an evaluation. I really believe that.
Mia said, "It's time to tell the truth."
Oh man.
Patricia
Well, I
said,
gotta
"My
hop
advice
off,
would
y'all,
be
because I
shut
gotta
up."
get ready for my live. But
Okay, we about
thank
to
you
get
for
off
having me
here.
as always. Thais,
Thank you
thank
for
you.
coming on.
To the chat, thank you. And I will see
Always
y'all.
fun being with you.
Child, I guess he'll be filing another lawsuit in 45 minutes. So I guess we'll be back.
Pretty much.
We haven't even went over the transcript yet, so we'll do that sometime this week when you guys are here.
We can't even get we trying to give y'all an act 2 of the play, and they won't even let us get to act 2 of the play.
He won't let us be great. They won't let us
He
be
will
great.
not let us be great. All right, y'all, I'm gone.
All right, thank you for coming on.
No problem.
Well, I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna go in here and wait for the live, Pam, because it's coming. Yeah, I'm waiting for the live and see what's said tonight.
All right, I'm gonna end with my favorite clip. Y'all know this is my favorite video.
I was never served.
You're being served now, brother.
You's a clown. That's what you. Why don't you call me a cardboard bishop now? Huh? You tough? Call me a cardboard bishop now.
He's not gonna call you that.
Huh?
I'm not gonna call
Look on Facebook Live. Call me a cardboard bishop now. You clown. That's what you are. You clown. That's what you are. Why don't you say what you say on Facebook Live, sucker?
No.
you. Got it?
Told y'all.
He likes to fight. What is this fighting about? Lamar, what is this about you fighting? You like popping people and stuff? You want to get in the ring and stuff? Where did that come from? That's not nice. That's not bishoply. Is that a word, Pam?
My advice. You can't, when you're getting served, you can't have the paper in your hand and say, "I wasn't served."
They just served you. And they'll usually tell you you've been served.
So anyway, thank y'all for hanging. Thank you.
You can't, Pam, you can't make this stuff up. So we just gonna roll with it to see how it goes to the end. We can't make this stuff up.
Y'all hit the like on the way out. Hit subscribe if you haven't done so. Let them know where to find you at, Thais.
I am at the official Thais Report, the official Thais Report. You can join me. Now listen, I'm a little more raw and uncensored than my sister Pam, okay?
He's rated R at times, but it's okay. But he'll let us saints know. He'll say, "All the saints, I'm gonna need you guys to get off of the live."
So
you are PAW Kojic, AME. I'm gonna need you to
baby, listen, I don't have
to the right.
I don't have rated G content, okay? Just so you know, I don't have rated G content. I have rated PG, but you can work with it. All right, the official Thais Report, Thais Jackson on all platforms. I love y'all. Thank you for always inviting me, Pam.
Of course. Thank you for coming on. And we'll holler at you guys next time.